What I do? What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the good old Angery Nation podcast. And that awesome intro you guys just watched. We're gonna have Frank on the podcast next week, the man himself that's doing that chopping, and we're gonna be giving away some of his mighty fine cutlery. And I don't mean just one. Ooh. So you're gonna want to be there for next week. We are giving away some cutlery. So we will have Frank from Knives by Hand on next week. And with that, let's just go do a round the horn thing here. T, you still supporting them liberal squatters in your front yard, or what are you doing?
Straight up. I got my own little little freebie city out here in the front yard, man. Just nonstop feed chickens. Yeah, you remember that, like that little gift thing? Like the dude's like, yeah, we're gonna buy a couple 100 acres. We're gonna get chickens, hundreds of chickens. Quack, quack, quack. That's what I'm doing right now. It's just chickens everywhere.
Chickens everywhere.
That's it. Chickens everywhere. Chickens everywhere.
You're the cock wrangler. The cock wrangler.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the cock wrangler, how you doing, Donnie?
Kiss my ass, Weatherman.
I said it might keep us out of that 60 seconds. I don't know if that happened or not.
You look like you're getting ready to get Frodo and go for the ring of power.
3 minutes in.
You know how I'm doing.
You're looking good, buddy. You're looking better, man.
Well, I have been working out and exfoliating and shit. So
we are going to have a road trip here shortly. We'll talk about it.
We are. Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, but not least, Lee, the man, the myth himself, Mr. Sue LaRue. How the hell are you, my friend?
I'm doing details all the time. It's North Carolina. I wish I would move further out west, because North Carolina, you got to mow every 5 days around here.
Well, you just need goats. That's all you need.
Move to Florida. It's every 3 days. So
goats.
Yeah, I'll get right on that. Yeah.
Hey, as long as my lawn guy doesn't get taken away, I'm cool.
I've got a lawn guy right now too, because my mower is still sitting incapacitated in my yard. I really want to get that fixed, but I'm tired of spending money on it, so I'm kind of pissed.
I mowed my grass one time last year. The rest of the time was just goats. Goats took care of everything.
Yeah, I tried the goat thing once, man. That didn't work out so well.
I thought you were the goat.
Yes. From this angle, I look like one,
Right.
From this angle, I look like one.
You cannot pass.
So I don't have it up right now, but I was watching the live stream of the riots in LA for their fifth night in a row, right? Fifth night in a row.
Yeah.
It's amazing how long those guys can go on doing shit, but the rest of us would get
Well, they're rotating in teams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Mama Mac, that is a kukri. Yes, you are right. But that's not how it's spelled. It's Kukri. Kukri.
Kukri.
Kukri. That spelling of kook reminded me of when I worked in Publix in high school. There's a lady wandering around the store, looked kind of lost, disheveled at best. And I asked her for something I could help you find. She's like, yeah. She's like, my husband wants some in there Japalapino potato chips. I'm like, I know exactly what you want. Follow me.
Welcome to Umatilla.
I speak Florida, man. No. This is in a much better part of town. There's Mel. She finally popped in. That must mean you guys are in a hotel for the evening. So Mel's driving her mom back from New Orleans to Lawton, Oklahoma. So glad to see that you guys made at least to Shreveport. On top of the mess and the rest of the U.S. schedule for this weekend, shit in the Middle East. Oh, yes, well, the Middle East. Sue, you tracking anything that's happening here in the last, 12 hours as far as that crap goes?
Oh, yeah, well, my daughter's out in L.A. I'm checking on her every night.
No, I mean the Middle East. I mean Iran and Israel and Iraq.
I'm trying to keep up with that, too. So I don't think the negotiations are going so well. So
since they've been canceled, they're seriously not. And all the U.S. missions in the Middle East are pretty much telling their people to start preparing contingency plans. So things are looking a little spicy over there.
I wish we had Emery on tonight because I heard the Israelis might go it alone if Trump doesn't get off the pot, and the Israelis just might hit him first. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's been revealed that they've got enough enriched now to make a weapon. You know
what?
They can produce a weapon within 12 days. Is the last I heard.
Yep.
Wow.
This is correct. They do have enough uranium for one. Because they've been enriching above the threshold for quite some time in another facility that we didn't even know about. But the Israelis,
as long as they don't unleash that super carrier that they built, you see that thing, the RC plane. They took like a tanker and cut the top off of it.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna put this up for Sean. Then we got the Chinese trying to, on two separate occasions now, smuggling in shit. That was one incident. Then there was another one where they were bringing in. This one was the fungus for the grains. I can't remember what the other one was off the top of my head, but they caught another one sneaking in a biological no-no. So,
wasn't that at the University of Michigan?
Yeah, the first ones were, yeah. And of course, the research is being funded by the CCP at the University of Michigan. Daryl Hunt. No, there's not an ETA. I am working on it. There's another Charlie coming as well. Cool shit happens between these two, the Charlie and the next going home. Especially if you like audio. That's all I'm going to say. So they call the Rooftop Koreans. Might get ahead in the NC Scoutland tomorrow afternoon. Very nice. I'm just trying to catch some comments real quick, guys. Oh yeah, so Andrew, right here. This is one of the things. GPS went down on the Iran-Iraq border. There were some crazy flight paths as a result of that. That looked like somebody had been hit with a defibrillator. Just like they were bizarre. So yeah, Iran started jamming GPS over Iraq just a few hours ago. So,
oh boy.
And Andrew, I look at X again. I haven't been back on there. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff heating up over there. Yeah, but we got our own issues here. You guys ready for Saturday? The big day, Saturday. That's what I'm guessing, what I'm hearing,
I've heard Asheville. Somebody said something about Asheville. They were planning a little get together. You know anything about that, Sue?
No, I haven't heard anything. But
if you go to nokings.org and type in your zip
Just
code,
pull it up.
It'll show you where all the riots are going to be, and there'll be one in a town near you. I promise.
Well, Asheville would be the perfect spot with the way they've been rolling.
Yeah, they're going to weaponize their drums. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. Chris Eisenberg, not yet, but it's something that's I'm getting the wheels turning on to do another run. Yes, so there will be more, just they're not ready yet, and it'll be a little bit. Lots to bring. Well, have fun up at a brush beater class up there at the G camp, because there's no better fun than the G camp. Sean Robertson, the Canadian Goose Fighter returns. You guys are fucking crazy. But yeah, it'll show you where the protests are going to be. There's actually going to be one not far from me. I plan to dress and look as overtly law enforcement as I can. I'm even going to put a radio on with a mic clipped to my collar and stand across from them, taking pictures of them with an telephoto lens, like so they see me doing it, like very clearly, just for the fun of it.
Where? In Leesburg?
Mount Dora.
Oh, they're really Mount Dora.
Yeah. Mount Dora. Tiny SA. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have my Andrew Ball. I'm gonna have my quarter pack with me as well. So I'm gonna let it be doing a few things in the background while I'm there. And yeah, Mel flies into Orlando on Saturday, the 14th at 4:45 in the afternoon. But luckily, I can drive all the way around Orlando and get to the airport without having to go near it. So, Janet Carson said there's going to be one in Fargo. Well,
don't you know? Okay.
It is the summer. I guess it is the summer. You know, I mean, there could be a protest in Fargo in the summertime.
They're saying one in Arden, one in Asheville, one in Arden.
Damn.
So yeah, they do have
Michael Keith, shit. I'm just a Umatilla dude, you know. I'll put this out now. I do have there's a glimmer of hope for the TV show at the moment. All right. I was contacted by somebody who's interested in the project, and we have a lunch meeting set up for next Tuesday in Claremont. Michael Keith, that's what made me think of it. I'll be sitting down with him to discuss the project and its future. Put it at that. And
look like June 14th, Sue, for Asheville.
Yep. It's all Saturday. All these protests will happen on the same day. So imagine they're trying to organize this nationwide.
Yeah.
And of course, there's no money. There's no money behind this that's funding this website and all this data input and everything else that's happening.
I mean, we have to drive to Texas on Saturday. I guess I'm bringing my full battle rattle, huh?
Yeah, the only problem you'll have is getting through like Baton Rouge. Be about the biggest issue for you guys on your way out. Won't be none in Florida because you don't go into Tallahassee.
So worried about it, dude.
You know, then once you cross Texas, you're in the hill country out there. It's nobody around. So, Bob Lester in the house. What's up, Bob? Bob's a good friend. He did a lot of stuff to help people in North Carolina, and nice to see you in the peanut gallery there, Bob. What are you thinking for the weekend, Bob? Bob's pretty tied in, so he's also got some amazing ass dogs. So T, your nearest protest is Asheville?
Looking like Asheville. I'm
looking at it right now. It says one in Charlotte too.
Oh yeah, Charlotte. Yeah,
well,
Charlotte. Yeah, both the same. Still 2 hours, you know, but it's impressive. Look how fast these people have pulled together all this. A website. This website looks good. I mean, I'm impressed. That's sad. That's sad to say the least. That the left and all these nut jobs. How organized that is,
and how well funded that is.
Yeah, well, it's amazing what you can do with money.
Yes, it is. Yeah, money fixes a lot of problems.
You can fix a lot of problems.
Amen.
Good.
And a lot of what was, what Musk found with Doge, and they had cut the funding to, the big beautiful bill refunds them. It fully funds a lot of that shit. So,
well, according to this map, they're going across the country. I mean, we've got Italy, France, Greece. I mean, they're everywhere. United Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And we're covered up protesting about the immigrants in America. Is that what they're protesting?
Yep, that's what it's about. Yep.
Okay.
Did you see Greta Thunberg has even had to pivot from climate protesting to now she's an immigrant advocate?
How dare you?
Oh God!
How dare you? think she's autistic.
So I was just going to say, you can hear the tard in her voice when she speaks. Is all I was going to say.
Well, I wouldn't say
one level or another. There's something there. I mean, she's not right in the head. And then she tried to sail into Israel. Go ahead, Sue.
Yeah, my question is, where's Kash Patel and the FBI? I mean, this No Kings thing is obviously funded. This is an insurrection act. President Trump said he would invoke the insurrection order. Gavin Newsom's acting like Jefferson Davis in 1860. Right?
They're going to arrest him.
The mayor of Chicago has already said we're in Civil War 2.0. As far as I'm concerned, let's get it on. Let's get it started.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Please come out. Please start protesting or start the Civil War, because I just need something to do. I'm bored in retirement. I will come out and stomp a mud hole in your ass and stomp it dry again. Please, let's get it started.
Well, see what they're doing. Here's the thing, and this is, I think, a crucial piece that everybody forgets, is that the left is trying to egg the right on to the point that the right starts the violence. That way they can claim the moral high ground in what they think is the moral high ground. That's why they're doing all this shit. And that's why things keep getting more and more crazy. Like, you know how all of a sudden the alphabet people are gone from the media. Gone. You don't hear about that. That's history. That is old news. They've had their 15 minutes of fame. Now it's the poor illegal immigrants that want to fly flags in our country and protest of the countries that they don't want to go home to.
This is paid rioters. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's a Palestinian flag, a Mexican flag, a Brazilian flag. These people have nothing to do. They've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. Hell, they've been doing it for 6 years. Since the George Floyd riots. These people have nothing better to do but sit there and scream and throw rocks and scream at people. And I don't understand it. They can't even explain their stance when they're in LA or New York waving Mexican flags, saying, acting like, that we're supposed to respect them, and why they're burning American flags. I'm sorry. No, it's going to happen.
The LA thing is it's actually a 2-order issue. One of them is the Reconquista, what the fuck ever the Mexicans call it, where they want to take back California, because California was stolen from Mexico, of course, and is occupied land, therefore, as all land is occupied by somebody or another. Usually,
yes, it was.
Usually, whoever managed to beat the shit out of the people that were there before them, that's who occupies it.
So is New Mexico, and Texas. Texas became a state after the Mexican-American War, and there was 11 treaties negotiated after that. 11 treaties.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And a lot of people had a choice to go back to Mexico. So if your great-grandfather or great-great-grandfather didn't return to Mexico on his own, and you want to take Mexico back, or take California back, or New Mexico, or Arizona, or even Texas, please, let's get started. Please get it started.
Just let them have it. Let them
organize and get it started. Expose yourself. Who's ever funding this, expose yourself, so I can have something to look forward to.
So I can have something to look forward to.
We need Kyle Rittenhouse. We need like the bat signal to go up, and we need Kyle to come save us, dude. That's what's up.
I'm sure there's a lot more people than just me that are frustrated with all this, and will lock and load and say, okay, Civil War, it's about time. Let's go ahead. Let's get started.
I'm kind of two feelings on California. One is let them reap what they've sown. Let them deal with it. The other part is, it's still part of the U.S. We need to defend it. But, watching California, part of their cities get burned down and stuff really doesn't bother me. I feel bad for the people who are truly just trying to work and make a living, but you live in that place and you see what it is. So, watching Gavin Newsom trying to gaslight that none of the problems existed until Trump sent the feds in. He sent the National Guard in. That was 3 days of looting and rioting before he sent them in there. And it's so bad that he had to send 700 Marines in there with him. So for Gavin Newsom to try to claim that he's got any, and people think this is helping his chances, Newsom's chances for president. Like,
Yeah,
that's going to be their next, suit that they put up there. Meat sack in a suit. YouTube's eating comments.
Yeah,
Rodney King
I had a
back
little
and
bit of
comment.
YouTube issue Monday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but those ICE raids, it all started over those when the mayor of LA told the police not to help out with the ICE raids. The ICE raids went on, and then from what I hear, from what my daughter's telling me, phones were blowing up. There's a network all over all the cell phones that everybody's getting these text messages that ICE is in your neighborhood, ICE is in your neighborhood, and these are funded too. I mean, and so
Really?
everybody's warning the illegals to go hide because ICE is in the neighborhood. And then last Friday or Thursday, actually, the mayor of what's that woman's name? She was in Ghana during the whole fire. All the
Karen
fire.
Bass.
Karen
Last
Bass.
name.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, she's the one that told all the local police not to assist the ICE agents and everything. But then this whole thing on the cell phones got all the rioters out there, and when they saw the vans going to the detention center at the federal building, that's what you saw, all the rocks going after them and everything. Again,
Yeah.
So, and then the president called Gavin Newsom, the governor, and said, "Hey, you got to take care of this. Those are federal agents that are being attacked by your citizens. You need to get a hold of your state." And Gavin Newsom says, "Oh, you never called me." And it's a lie. They're just lying. It sounds to me like these guys. I think you're right. They want us to overreact. I'm not going to overreact, but I'm not going to have somebody throw a brick through my windshield either.
Yeah, no. And this,
Throw a rock at me, and I'm going to throw a 45 caliber right back at you.
Oh, there was one poor LA cop. Those cops, they make some terrible tactical decisions. I got to say that about them. They really do. When they parked like 4 cars under that overpass and they were being pelted from shit above, one of the cops stepped out with a pepper ball gun to try to, push them back from the edge and caught a brick to the face. Like, watched it happen on live feed. But yet, this is peaceful. These protesters are peaceful. It's the response that's causing the violence. No, it's not. The violence.
It's been a lie for 30 years now. Remember Reginald Denny? Anybody remember Reginald Denny?
I do.
Oh yeah.
During the LA riots of Rodney King, right?
Yeah.
He's a truck driver trying to go through there. They pulled him out of the truck and bricked him in the face.
Yep.
He was almost died. Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, you cannot do that to your fellow citizens.
Nope.
No, you cannot. I don't care who you think you're protecting or what you're writing about. You cannot take a brick or a rock and throw it at your fellow citizens. You cannot do it.
That's called hurling a deadly missile. It's a crime. It's even on the books. Crazy how that works out. But depending on the DA in your state, they wouldn't charge them for doing that, but they would charge you for defending yourself from them, because we're seeing more and more of that too. And that's why I think they're trying to ratchet up the tension to make the right react and start doing stuff so they climb the moral high ground. That's their whole case. That's to try to get anybody who's in the middle to swing to their side. That's what they're trying to get to happen, so they can say, finally, see, we've been telling you all these gun nuts are dangerous, and here's why. So that's their ultimate game plan, in my opinion. But you can tell they're getting more and more desperate because of the measures they're taking.
Okay.
That's why I'm glad I didn't sell my medieval armor. Put me in, coach. Well, not now. But.
Well,
yeah, soon. A couple more months.
Donnie, his armor, he actually pretty good. I watched him knock a dude's teeth out with him.
Well, let's go back to what this original the original conversation started. You asked me if I've been keeping up with what's going on in Iran, what's going on in Gaza, what's going on. Isn't it funny how all these riots are starting about the same time, and we're also negotiating with the Chinese and telling them, no, you won't send no more fentanyl, basically ingredients to Mexico anymore. Isn't it funny how it's all percolating and it's all culminating at the same time? I'm telling you, these riots are funded by virtual communists in this country. Your George Soroses, your people who do not respect the Constitution and want to see this country fall.
Well, I heard one report that there was a guy that was arrested at one of the protests, and that he owned up and said, yeah, $1,500 a day paid by this NGO, and we were told to go out and cause as much trouble as we possibly can.
Agitators, yes, they're paid.
They have pre-set up bail funds. Where's all this money come from? Like, we know where it comes from now.
That's a good day's pay too. I mean, that isn't just chump change. That's a good day's pay.
Yeah, $1,500 a day. Is there a number?
Well, that's why people are asking, how can people protest? The same people, because you see the same people in these videos all the time. How can they protest for 5 days? How can they take 5 days out of their life to just go protest in the street and destroy shit? It's because they're being paid. I mean, these people are being paid. And some of the OSINT guys out here in the world are quickly finding their cell phones, their numbers and stuff, and then being able to link them to all the other protests all the way back into 2020. Yeah, this same person was at this one, at this one, at that one, at this one, at this one, same ones. And if we can figure that out that quick, if our OSINT people can figure that out that fast, the Feds should be able to figure that out. I mean, they did for January 6th. So why aren't we flipping the tables on them and going after the left's insurrectionists?
Where's the FBI? Why aren't they raiding these people's homes? They go out and protest at night, go back at dawn. Yep. They live like vampires. They don't really start the violence. The violence doesn't start until after dark. So why isn't the FBI SRT raiding these homes and putting these guys in cuffs? Why aren't they doing it? They're assaulting federal officers.
Well, they're starting to get some of them. They have made some arrests. One was a guy that was throwing Molotov cocktails. They picked him up after they identified him, and they got another guy that was with him. They did roll those two up. And I'm seeing some things go out from the FBI looking for information on this person that was doing this at a protest. So, but it's weak. It's not the post January 6th heavy-handed, we geofence this place, and every phone number that comes in that's in here, we want to figure out its owner, and then connect all the dots, and we're going to charge the people and put them in prison forever. We could be doing the same thing at these protests. I mean, we could be having the phone companies or even any intelligence organization, company or organization do that right now. They could go on a computer, geofence that shit, and say, all right, every phone that's active in this city block that's being looted right now, we want to know who those people are. And then same thing, charge them with insurrection. You're in the streets of America burning the American flag while carrying the flag of another nation. That says insurrection more than anything to me. So,
well, and I'm frustrated tonight and everything, but okay, let's say I go to Asheville on Saturday and somebody puts a brick through my windshield. And I send, I empty both mags in my Glock 21, and then I go to my 1911. I guarantee you, I'm going to be on the news. I'm going to be arrested, and I'm going to be charged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Yep.
Former hero disgraced.
But I'm defending myself.
Yep.
Okay? Because if you're throwing rocks at me, I'm almost 62 years old. I'm going to be like a sickly old man, and I'm just going to claim that, hey, I was scared. And
piss yourself and shake like you got Parkinson's afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is so ridiculous. I mean, it is. We allow these snowflakes, these kids. I mean, they're getting up in front of. I mean, can you imagine? I wasn't there. I was young, but let's go all the way back to the late 60s, early 70s. Did people get in cops' faces, like this? And I remember people getting hit with fire hoses and batons in the face and stuff like that. I can't believe that we've raised a generation of people that think that you can be so disrespectful to. And then you got Maxine Waters, our congressman. She's 87 years old.
Yep.
She's been reelected 18 times. There's a reason right there for term limits.
Oh yeah,
right
100%.
Right? And she's up there instigating, telling the National Guard to shoot her. I dare you to. You better shoot straight.
Yeah, I mean, that was the line that cracked me up.
Woman, are you? Yeah. And you're being so disrespectful to those National Guard members. You know, they're just they're just put out there and doing what they're told to do. For God's sake.
Yep.
Somebody needs to arrest her.
Well, that's the political theater that they're conducting, like with stunts like that, that's just political theater. That's all that's for. You know.
Granted, but if I'm a Spec 4 or a corporal in the National Guard, I don't have to put up with that. Not from somebody who's supposed to be, defending the Constitution like I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You know? She's supposed to be an arbiter of the Constitution, and she's daring a little guy to shoot her.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy how weird it's getting. And did you see the video?
If I would have done that as an NCO, I would have been put on charges unbecoming of an NCO, right?
Yeah.
So why can't Congresswomen and men be held to the same standard? That's unbecoming of an elected official, right there.
Yep.
Charge them with it.
Yeah.
That bitch needs a branch to perch on, dude. I mean, she's something else, dude.
Like I said, it's theater. They're just feeding their base. That way they say, you see, I stood up to them. You stood up to them because you knew absolutely nothing was going to happen. Go stand up to those rioters in the street, tell them to stop looting the Foot Locker or the Apple store. I don't know if you guys saw that last night. They looted an Apple store in LA someplace, and all those devices are tracked. Like you can't really steal an iPhone, like especially from the Apple store. So they bricked the phones remotely. Apple did with a message saying that we're going to come get your ass, basically. So I imagine there's a bunch of abandoned Apple property scattered around the dumpsters of LA right now.
Dude, they should put explosives.
Yeah, but unless you can bump it up to
a
felony, no prosecutor in LA is going to go charge those kids.
Nobody.
Nope. I'm sorry. What were you say?
No, I said they should like get a bunch of sneakers and iPhones and just put some charges in them like the Israelis.
Yeah, well, they did loot a Foot Locker too. They did loot a Foot Locker. It's just two-tier justice system. It's one of the symptoms of a banana republic, and we are definitely in a two-tier justice system. When a district judge and or not even, what's the next thing? What's below a district? Circuit judge. When a circuit judge can override the foreign policy of the president of the United States, we have a problem in our country. When a circuit judge can do that.
Yep, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Setting off an alarm really loud and flashing all over the ground. Yep, there we go. Cool. I didn't see that part, but I saw some other stuff about it. That's good, Patrick. And like I asked this on Twitter yesterday, and I'm going to pose this one to you guys. So, like I mentioned, that LAPD officer that caught the brick right to the grill. How long? And Maxine Waters and people like that, other politicians going out there and trying to mix it up in the street with riot officers or National Guard. How long before you think potentially that the police force starts walking off the job? They just say fuck it, because most people probably don't understand that a lot of LAPD officers don't even live in California. They fly in for their 3-day shift, and then they fly out, or they definitely don't live in LA County or in LA. Yeah. There's a bunch of them live in Idaho and places like that. Yep, absolutely. Wow. And the Santa Clarita Valley, there's a shit ton of LAPD that live up there. But a lot of them don't even live in LA. So how long before you think they either get tired of it, or that if this stuff starts getting out of hand, they start saying, well, I need to stay home and take care of my family. That's a point in our trajectory, in our current trajectory. That's a point that will come to eventually if we stay where we're at. So I'm just curious. I wonder how far away we are from that. I mean, I think we're a little ways off, at the moment.
Surprised these cities even have police anymore. I mean, I used to frequent Chicago quite often years back, and I don't know how they even have police force in these cities, these liberal cities like that. I couldn't do it. You couldn't pay me enough to
No.
have your hands tied like that all the time. It's
No.
insane.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I'm watching for is when the cops start not showing up, you know. And then there was that girl, that little Latina girl that put her uniform on. Sue, did you see that? Where she got on? She went to
Russ was telling me about that. No, I haven't seen that yet. No.
She went to an anti-ICE protest and said that the military will not stand for this. Like, she spoke for the entire military. Granted, she's not active duty, but she did put the uniform on and present herself as a soldier, and I think she should be charged with that. Just like the guy that was doxing ICE agents, he was putting their personal information out there and was really eating it up on Twitter, having a grand old time, and some folks that we know managed to dox him. He issued a stunning apology and begging for forgiveness. And then a little bit more work, we found out he's actually a active duty Navy JAG officer who put out his first tweet that started all this trouble for him was, "We are going to track down all of the J6ers and ICE agents again." That's a active duty naval JAG officer making statements like that on social media. So I got a feeling his career is about to go up in flames in a spectacular way.
Well, I hope so. I hope so. And again, that goes back to what I've always said. I mean, if we would hold up the standard, our youngest is, just got past the medical phase of joining the military. I was bragging about him last week about he's got a shipping date in September. Still doesn't know where he's going, but I think the recruiting offices and law enforcement, if you apply for any kind of government job, whether it's local, state, or federal, you should have to pass a quiz, a constitutional quiz, just like a legal immigrant. If you can't pass the quiz, you should be told, "I'm sorry, go back and study the Constitution," because you're supposed to be supporting and defending it. Whether you're in the military or working a federal job or working a government job, you're supposed to defend you're supposed to know something about the Constitution. That's why we get all these in this, it's called the fourth level of government, all those players inside the government that the bureaucrats you can't get out, no matter who's the president or who's the governor or who's the mayor. You got all this secret or this deep state people that have been there for years, and they've never read the Constitution. Well, they should never have the job, period.
No, they shouldn't.
That's just me, but I mean, that's just.
I agree with you 100%. I got a friend who he has an adopted son that was Egyptian, and Meads in July 17th, I think it is, Meads takes his oath as a citizen. It took him 11 years to do it the correct way.
Good on him.
And he gets his citizenship next month. See, there is a way to. Yes, 11 years is ridiculously long. 100%, I agree with that. But that doesn't change the fact that you can still do it the right way. These people don't need to come into our country illegally. And he, to your point, Sue, is going to know more about the United States Constitution than 50% of the people at the Capitol will know. I guarantee you, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, whatever her dumbass is, I guarantee you she can't get past probably the Second Amendment. I doubt she knows what the third is.
Yeah. Or ask her, which article? I mean, which article does she cover? Is covered in the Constitution covers her job? She won't know.
No,
it's just
no.
It's ridiculous. It's getting so bad that I mean, it's like the inmates are running the asylum. That's just.
Well, and like 1984 at the same time. Let's take a quick minute. Hey, Russ, let's roll that thing. I want to roll that thing real quick. I don't want to miss that tonight. So because we want you guys to check this podcast
Join
out.
Stephanie Johnson, founder of the Rebuilding Hollers Foundation, on Rebuilding Hollers, Come Hell or High Waters, a podcast that celebrates the unyielding spirit of Western North Carolina's recovery after Hurricane Helene. From the hollers of Yancey and Mitchell counties, Stephanie brings you powerful stories of resilience, community, and hope as mountain families, volunteers, and local heroes rebuild homes, businesses, and lives. Each episode dives into the heart of this 501c3 nonprofit's mission, from delivering critical supplies to constructing new futures. Hear from neighbors, clearing paths, families overcoming loss, and the Appalachian grit that defies any storm. With Stephanie's heartfelt storytelling, Rebuilding Hollers, Come Hell or High Waters invites you to witness the power of unity and discover how you can support the journey. Tune in Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube to feel the mountains and join the mission. Come Hell or High Waters. Subscribe now and visit rebuildinghollers.org to get involved.
I just wanted to run that again so we get more people to know that Steph even has the podcast going, and so that people don't forget about what happened to North Carolina that they're still recovering from. It's not all better. It's not all fixed. They're still having a hell of a hard time. So, and Stephanie Johnson is a sweetheart. We love her to death, and we want to support her and her podcast. So check it out. And if you can help out the foundation, please do. All that money, I can guarantee all that money, I know for a fact, is going right into the projects. They're building people's homes. I mean, they're actually building homes for people. They're not giving them tarps or no BS like that. They're actually building homes. So I would encourage you to check it out.
It's still a train wreck there, man. There's just still garbage and stuff laying everywhere. It's insane.
Yeah. I was trying to find her a car crusher. I know a company that actually makes them. Not a car crusher, I'm sorry, a car grinder. Like you can drop an entire car into this thing and it spits ferrous metal out over here, non-ferrous metal over there, and plastic over here. And but there's no funding for that at the moment. But somebody could make a fortune if they had one.
That could come in
handy. Yeah, there's plenty laying around. That's for sure.
Yeah, you could probably make it back on scrap, you know?
Yeah.
Drop your enemies in that thing.
It would take care of them because I mean it'll crush an engine block. I mean, everything comes out. There ain't a piece like bigger than that. Yeah. So I would recommend folks just how's the thing? I'll give a little update on that in a minute. There will pay attention this weekend. Eyes up, head on a swivel kind of thing. Just pay attention. I would be tracking any kind of intel to your immediate area that you can. That'll give you, let you know when stuff's happening. Because we don't know what's going to happen. It could be a big nothing burger, as it has been in the past, or it could be the start of something more substantial. So I have to wait and see. Maybe it'll be Sue's kickoff he's waiting for so bad.
He's been getting bored. You can see it in his eyes. He's bored. He's ready to get back out there.
Yeah. So go ahead, Sue.
I like this this comment here. It says, "Don't point out how dumb AOC is. She's a perfect candidate for 2028."
Yeah, she really is. And actually, I think she's going to try to make a run at it. I'll tell you that now because she's already spent.
I agree with him. I hope she does. That would just show how stupid those people are.
Oh, she's already spent about $20 million of campaign money this year. Oh. Just think about that. And what she's doing isn't public stuff. So I think she's going to try to make a run for it. Adolf Whitmer to run for president. She could never run for president.
Man, it's a messed up world.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about signing up. Signing up for it, but I don't know if I qualify for the Salvation Army right now. But I mean, do my part. Couldn't lift the bell.
Make you a doorstop. What are you going to say, Sue?
I was going to say, it's people like AOC and all these rioters and Maxine Waters, and they live in this bubble, and all they is I used to accuse the Clintons of it, back when in the 90s, when I actually ran into some of their workers or the people around, either the first lady, the President Clinton when she was the president there, or Bill that these people they surround them with yes sir men and people that just tell them that the sun's shining up their butt the whole time, and then when they're going to get it in the real world and they realize that nobody's going to support them, whether the rioters, AOC, or
Yeah.
I mean, do they ever look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, I might be wrong? They never apologize. They don't.
They don't care.
Well, if you think about it, think back to last real Democrat, as in a blue blood Democrat president we ever had.
Yeah.
All right? He was the last Democrat. From Clinton forward, it's all been these ultra zeitgeist liberal, progressives that are just coming in and telling you they're trying to destroy our people. And they keep getting more and more extreme. There are no more Democrats. There might be Democrats left in this country, but you don't hear from them much, because the progressive liberals are the ones, the communists, because that's what a progressive liberal is in this country, are the ones that are making the most noise. The Democrats are drowned out. A lot of them are even now like, we line more with Republicans now than we do our own party, and we saw that in the last election. Yeah. NoKings.org. That is where you can go track the protests. Now, as my buddy Patrick up there said, he's got some friends in state police, and at least in his state, there's no permits for half of those protests that are listed, so there won't be no protests. They're probably just doing that to try to gin up everybody leading up to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just looked at that map again, and they're showing like Sparta, which is right up 25 minutes up the mountain here, and I'm like, there ain't no way. I think they're trying to throw a bunch of dots on the map to make it look a lot bigger than what it's actually going to be. But I think the liberal cities, it'll be stupid. They'll have, Charlotte will have some stupidity. Asheville will probably have some stupidity going on, but a lot of these towns that I just looked at, no way. If anyone did show up to try some of that ignorance, it would be met with a bunch of good old boys with baseball bats and jacked up trucks. I mean, that's how that would go down.
I think even Asheville at the moment, that if there was a protest, and I mean, of all the cities in North Carolina likely to have it, that's the place. But I think the locals would handle them if they started trying to loot and bust up, town a little bit, because they've already been busted up. I mean, they're like, no, you're not gonna fix none of this new. You're not breaking into this new shit.
Yeah, we actually had to pay for this because the federal government didn't help any.
Yeah, we just fucking fixed that.
We literally had to fix this out of our own pocket.
The one place it could happen, T, is over here in
Southern here we go.
By, Western North Carolina. So why don't you grab a couple gloves and a couple softball bats, come over to my house, and we'll just walk down
walk down.
It is June, so they have the rainbow flags out too. So we might get to play some softball.
Boy, you're just
play some softball.
Batter.
You might need to get Sue a warm milk.
Man.
Good Lord.
What a mess.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, we're at a point, Leesville. We're at a point in our trajectory as a country that there's no longer a redress for grievances either. Like, I don't know if people quite get that now that the court system has been politicized, as it has been, it's owned by the left. As a common citizen, you no longer have redress against grievances to your government. You have nowhere to go because the court system is fucked. So again, when you look at all the things that are required to become a banana republic, we're just checking the boxes. It's like the death throes of an empire is what I personally believe we're in. That's my opinion. And I don't know what the other side of it's going to look like, but I know between now and the other side, it's going to get worse before it gets worse. So,
I mean, Chris, we've been through this 40 times, dude. I mean,
yeah.
Listen, you don't know when shit's going to step off.
Oh, I just said we never know.
We never know. So all you can do is make ready, train, situational awareness, and keep your head on a swivel and have your tribe. And when shit steps off, call Sue. I'm just saying. But you know, how many times we've been through this? So, you know, a lot of times, but one of these days, shit's going to happen, man.
Well, when you look at it, if you look at the progression of the resistance, if you want to call them that, like they're getting bolder and bolder and bolder, and they're being deliberately emboldened by these DAs, these Soros DAs, and these sympathetic politicians to them, because they know there's no repercussions for their actions. They know there's no consequence. We need to start delivering some consequence. You know, I think the National Guard should take to the streets, and they should have that long ass riot stick that they put out, and just start handing out hickory shampoos. You don't need to arrest them. You catch them looting or protesting, just give them a hickory shampoo right there on the spot and let them go. They can go home, man. Because they're not going to be worth the fuck in the street.
I'm writing that down.
That's an old term, bro. That comes from the 60s.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Sean, my buddy Sean over here. If you guys don't follow Sean on Facebook or his epic rants, you should. Last month I said 3 months. Now I'm saying 2 months. Well, of course, Sean, that math adds up. Last month I said 3 months. This month I say 2 months. Of course you do. Huh? At least you can add and subtract.
So if you guys want to follow most of this stuff, I would suggest that you sign up for the Forward Observer, our friends at the Forward Observer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
It's an email every day, and it's right to the point. It tells you what's going on, why it should matter to you. And they always end it with protests in cities and a really good synopsis of what's going on. It's the best of its type I've ever used, and I get it every day, and follow it to the T.
That sit rep's awesome.
Oh yeah,
he does a fantastic job. I partnered with him for a while and paid him to take that, and then I added to it, modified it, and I sent that out to patrons.
To your newsletter, yeah.
And I'm sorry, guys. I need to get back on that. I apologize. It's just like I'm a little busy at the moment.
A little bit.
So Will asked about the new company, and so we are headed. Well, I'm not, but the guys and Donnie are headed to Texas on Saturday. Shit, I need to go look
on Saturday.
On Saturday, yeah. So they're going to be convoying to Texas. I will be here waiting for Mel to get back in town so I can head that way, because the jobs in Florida are just not ready to cut loose yet. And so there's a shit ton of work in Texas. So they're paying good money. So we are going to go get us some of that. We'll be out there for 3 to 4 weeks, and then come back to Florida to get ready to start doing jobs here that we have coming up.
Good thing there's no illegals out there, man. I was really, oh shit.
They're all in LA, aren't they?
No. Someone to just tape like a PW on my arm. You know what I mean? Just tape it and just, bring my shockwave. Yeah. I mean, look, we always roll heavy, dude. I mean, what's going to be different,
I told Donnie, he has a hard time holding his pistol up. I told him he just get a piece of 550 cord and put a loop around one end, and he can put over his left hand and tie the other end to his pistol, and he could just pull his right hand up with it.
I was going to take one of my leg like in that movie.
Yeah.
Tarantino
there
movie.
you go. Machine gun leg.
I tell you what, I will screw you up. I will kick and bite the shit out of you if you mess with me, dude.
Big shout out to Russ and Teresa for everything they do for
big shout.
Everybody here. Like
everybody here. Yep.
What part of Texas you going to be working in, Donnie?
What's it called? Nacogdoches?
Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
Nacogdoches. I have no idea where that's at.
We ought to
go. Big Pete.
I'm from West Texas. I would like. Here's my beef with the whole protecting illegal immigrants. I would love to take you guys with, let's just start out. Let's use El Paso as a central point, and we can go west from there, or we can go follow the Rio Grande. I will show you every small town. You know, I have no hometown to go home to, because all these illegals kept on coming over, and that's what's going on with the whole country. All along the border, probably 200 and 300 miles all along the border, all those small towns are broke. And we just need to go film it and make a documentary and say, here's what's going to happen to our country if you guys keep on inviting people that don't contribute to the system into your country and giving away free stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing to go home
free.
to. You know?
Well, did you hear when they said they were going to quadruple the tax on remittance payments to Mexico? If they did that, it would bring it up to a whopping 15%, guys. Imagine that they tax Mexicans 3.5% of their money to send it to Mexico. Think about that. Think of all the money the billions that cross the border, and that's all they take from it. My income tax is higher than that. But the Mexican president came out and called for protests in America over this. She was pissed that that our government wanted to tax Mexicans that are living here in our country for sending money back south across the border. Just imagine.
If you want to start a war, they can go to all the places where you can wire money, you know, where you can wire money to Mexico. The government needs to go in there and say, or just cut it off, say no more wiring money to Mexico, period. You know, tell the Union Pacific and everybody else that make it a law or an executive order. No more wiring money to Mexico. You watch how fast they'll be screaming about that.
Oh yeah. Yep, absolutely. Because that's all it is. It's money going south to fund Mexico.
So let me just say this, man. I don't want anybody watching this and getting misconstrued. None of us here have anything against good, law-abiding, solid Mexican people. I'm good friends with some Mexican people. They're wonderful.
Yeah.
Right?
Some of the hardest working people there are.
Love them. I mean, some of the best people in the world.
Yeah.
And it's not like that at all. It's the illegal immigrants, the gangsters, the troublemakers. I mean, that's what we're against. You know what I mean?
It's the slap in the face to everybody that came here legally. The guy that took 11 years, that guy spent 11 years of his life to get here. I would be pissed.
And you want to know what his opinion of immigration is? Fuck the illegals. They need to do it the right way.
Well, everybody that came legally, all the Hispanic people I know that either were born here or came legally are pissed about it. You know what I mean? They're getting on to do what we did.
During my break in service, I used to work with crews. I used on Ames Construction in Colorado. I used to work with Mexican crews because I could habla a little bit. So they'd always stick me with the Mexican guys, and I love them to death. And they'd come over here and they'd work 7-8 months of the year, and they remained Mexican citizens. They'd still pay tax here, but then they would take their money and go live like kings for 3 or 4 months back in Mexico, back home. You know, they run the rock crushers and stuff like that. I have no problem with, a work visa or something.
Yeah.
That's what they were
not
on.
at all.
You're paying taxes.
Yeah, please do. Please come here, work with us, do whatever you want, go home, buy your family whatever they need. And, I have all the respect in the world from them or for them. But don't come here and ignore the laws and then expect to get something from other Americans that are, paying taxes, and you're sucking out the system. Don't do that. If you come here to work, do it legally, number one. And number two, if you are here illegally, go home and come back on a work visa. Christy Gnomes made it easy for you. She'll give you $1,000 to go Mexico, Honduras.
They'll give you and a plane ticket. They'll give you the plane ticket too. Yeah.
And then apply for a work visa immediately and come right back. Do it legally.
Shit, I'm gonna change my name to Dirty Don Sanchez to get a free trip to Monterey, dude. Come on,
free trip to Monterey. Well, T, what do you got? You want to leave everybody with tonight, man? What pearls of wisdom are you gonna drop?
Man, I don't know. I tell you, something I was thinking about today is that, and everybody here falls into this category. One thing that we all have in common is if you really self-sufficiency. All right, there really is no such thing anymore.
Nope.
Okay, you can't be. There was like a handful of people, probably, maybe even Alan Kay would be the closest thing to being able to pull that off. But he even said, he's like, it's not possible. But there's one thing that I was contemplating today. So, I did the whole job thing and working all the time, and I made good money, but I made a whole bunch of other people rich working for somebody else. And if you guys really want to know what you should be shooting for, number one, get out of these cities. All right.
Yeah.
Number one, get out of the cities. Don't say that you can't do it. I don't want to hear it. It's excuses. Look, if you really want to get out, you can get out. I did it. I did it on a shoestring budget. I worked night and slept 3 hours a night and all this just to get enough money scraped together to move across the United States to get here. And I'm still working. You guys have seen my house. It looks great right here. If you look right over there, a bunch of wires hanging out, shit everywhere. So I don't want to hear about how you can't do it. But the other side of this is if you really want to kick it up a notch in your preparedness and be something more and better, try to become self-employed. I do mountain readiness. I'm working around the homestead, raising chickens, raising goats, raising turkeys, gardening. It's huge. It's huge, guys. Being self-employed, you want to talk about taking preparedness and self-reliance to the next level. You answer to your own self. You don't answer to anybody else. I'm either going to be broke because it didn't work out and that's my fault, or I make a good living and I don't answer to anyone else. And I don't have to worry about all this garbage of people with kids. There's another thing. Homeschool your kids. Homeschool your kids.
Yeah.
You can work. You work for yourself. You make your own hours. That's what I'm doing right now. So look, guys, that's what I got to say to you. You can have all the guns and ammo in the world and stock food and all this bunch of stuff. That's great. But you really want to start kicking your preparedness and your self-reliance, your self-sufficiency to the next level. Start trying to figure out how to be your own boss. That's what I'm with.
And get yourself a beautiful hand-forged, notice the marbling, tomahawk.
That's it.
Where can you get one of these, T? Where can people find you?
Well, right now you can't get one because I ain't got no time to make it.
I ain't telling my shit. Their hands off. Get back.
Thanks for the plug, though.
Yeah. Dottie, what do you got for everybody tonight, man? Other than get a tomahawk, which I'll second that. Get a tomahawk.
Yeah. So
hey, man,
you talk about being self-employed. So I haven't really said anything to anybody, but I am working on a new knife design that is going to be badass. I mean, badass. It's going to be the fad. And I'm thinking I'm not doing myself on this one, man. So are we going to do another round of Daltons?
Probably. Yep. Probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We're all sold out of those.
Chris
and I have a business we started. We're going to be working with my best friend in the world of 30 years, former business partner and other things. And the American Line Company. And gonna be a line for the county.
That's it.
We're heading to Texas, man. So hopefully we got Tribe in East Texas to hook us up. We get in a pickle. So
ask away, Noah. Ask away, brother. Sue, what do you want to leave everybody with tonight, man?
Well, since I got cut out of the lineman job, I'm going to be self-employed. I'm starting my own. I'm going to start my own porn channel. So if there's any ladies out there that want to help me out, we're going to call it Wrinkle Wranglers. All right. And
you could join the Blue Pill Men.
Tactical rifleman in the house. Look at that. Yeah.
Monkeys.
You're
Carl, all monkeys.
I haven't replied to your text yet, but I was talking to Angery about it today, and I'm going to reply to you tomorrow. So
everybody tighten up.
Did I get interrupted by tactical riflemen?
You did. I just cut you.
You just did.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm already bankrupt in my own porn channel. So I guess if
like a gerbil.
Like a gerbil.
in July, or I mean in January, and 6 inches
Ratatouille.
of snow.
Everybody
Gerbil in
just don't
January.
listen to me. Don't get frustrated. I am frustrated. I admit it, but I think Chris is right. This whole thing on Saturday, they're going to look to start things. Don't fall for the trap. Stay home if you can.
Yep.
Be
Don't go
self-employed.
counter-protest.
Find something else to do. Stay out of the big cities. Let them destroy themselves.
Let them,
Okay.
Yes. Let
And,
them eat themselves. Yes.
Do not fall for their game, but don't be a victim either.
Yeah, no.
Please don't be a victim.
Self-defense first, and don't be afraid to hit these bastards back when they want to hit you. No, look. All right, Noah's question here. Looking for suggestions on solar panels, something bigger than like a Goal Zero, like 2 foot by 3 foot, or something for use in the shit. Noah, go check out. I'm going to tell you, EcoFlow is a company I recommend. I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I spend a lot of money with EcoFlow. Check them out. You'll probably like the Delta Pro Series. Is what I'm thinking for you. Or if you want to step up to the Ultra Pro, that's a bigger investment, but a lot more power. But check out EcoFlow. Let me see. Carl says, Emery and I are taking my son to a birthday dinner. Wish you guys were here. We miss you too, brother. We miss you too. Tell Nick
Is he doing 4th of July this year, or did
yes, he is.
The military shut him down?
No, he's doing 4th of July.
Yeah, you've never seen a 4th of July.
I actually got the invite. I will actually be there finally.
Come pick me up, dude.
Yeah.
Right on.
You're going to be
Tennessee
in Texas
or Kentucky.
Well, shit, I might be able to see it from Texas, knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy. I mean, this thing you get 5 or 6 Green Berets and a Jew commando, dude, and that shit is like, Iran is scared of that. So
yeah. Still check out EcoFlow, Noah. Seriously, like they've got really nice panels that fold up. I've got them. They're not hard. They're kind of flexible, but they fold. They're stout. They're 100-watt panels that, I don't know. They're like maybe 3x4 folded, and you unfold them, and they're bigger than 100-watt. They're 200-watt panels, and it's quite a bit of power. So I'm going to echo what T said earlier. About preparedness too. Yeah, being self-employed, like, and when people say, "Oh, well, I can't do it," well, I did it. Me and Donnie had talked about starting this company for quite some time.
Wow,
and it, like 3 years. And it took him having his surgery and the negative side effects from it to push me into just saying, all right, I'm going to do this now. And Donnie was laid up, couldn't help. We stood it up. It's a company. Now we've done some line work, the really nasty part of line work. But like this week, my crew's pressure washing and painting with me. I'm out there with them, pressure washing and painting these big oil tanks is a job because there's no line work at the moment. We're going to Texas Saturday, but in between, there's always a way to make money,
with a bucket truck, tools, all things are possible.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm praying for hurricanes, but I got the medicine, man.
That hourly rate per truck's pretty sweet. I gotta say, I'm looking.
Yeah. Well, I think what it comes down to, what you said there, Chris, is you can do it if you're willing to do whatever it takes. That's what it comes down to. He said, I can't do it. It's because you're not willing to do what it takes.
That's right.
Sometimes it's going to suck. That's just it. Sometimes it's going to suck bad.
Yeah. You think I like being out there pressure washing and painting these fucking
go.
tanks right now? You think I even want to be working at all? No, I don't want to, but I needed to. So I am. And I'll be in Texas too. Yeah. I'll be in Texas too. So with that, y'all stay safe. Bless the rains in Africa. Good God. You should see what's happening in Sudan right now. If you're thinking about Africa, you should check that out. Zimbabwe too. But anyway, you guys know the drill. Be good at it. Stay safe. Stay aware this weekend. Don't do nothing silly. Fucking.
Holla!
If Carl was watching, he'd want to know where you got that.
I stole this from Carl.
Last put Eric, for I knew him well. Love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll catch you next time. Next Wednesday is Frank with Knives by Hand. And like I said, we will be giving away some fine cutlery. So you might want to tune in for that one. We're giving away multiple pieces. Next Wednesday.
I will be. I'll have my laptop and my webcam. I'm in.
The Wednesday after that, we're going to have a couple vets on with Sue. If you guys want to be here, we'll try to make enough room to fit everybody on the camera. But we're going to be talking about a bill before Congress that would give medically retired or medically discharged vets immediate access to all disability and pension funds they would be due. Whereas now, if you were like, I have a friend that he was in for 16 years before he was medically retired because, he couldn't continue service. He has to wait till he's like 53 years old or 58 years old or something like that to collect 58 to collect his pension. Whereas if you do your 20 years and you get out, you get your pension and your medical disability benefits immediately. And all we're saying is the guys that couldn't make it, that were medicaled out because they were so damaged from their service, they deserve to have that money today, not 20 years from now or whatever it may be. And there's actually a bill that will do that before Congress. And so we're going to highlight that, and we're going to ask you guys to call your Congress critters and stuff and push them to pass that bill because, our nation owes a debt to our veterans that they don't even attempt to repay. So we should be supporting every effort to do so. And on that note, it's been awesome. Catch you guys next week.